Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience live with Russ and Scott.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams Vidwillamette. For all your real estate needs, go to teamgillette.com. Have your dreams been buried under mountains of responsibility? For help, contact Emily Harmon, Coaching and Consulting at emilyharmon.com. Ta-da! We made it live and ready for action. Russ and Scott here on The Experience live with Russ and Scott. So glad to have you all here today. And we are super, super excited to get going on season 6, aren't we, Scott?
Wow. That's hard to believe, Russ. We had this idea of doing a show, and here we are finishing up with season 5, beginning season 6, but wrapping up our third year.
I know. It's amazing. I mean, I am, I don't know. I look forward to Wednesday mornings every week. Scott, you are such a, not only amazing friend, but such an inspiration and encouragement in my life. And then we also come off the experience backstage we just had with our friend Shri, and she's always a bundle of smiles and energy. So that helps as well.
And we've been doing that for more than a year as well.
I know. That's hard to believe that it's been going that long. You know, we started off, we've made so many changes. I'm sitting here as in real time, I'm adjusting my microphone, and we have gone from just using laptops and things like that to getting a little bit more, getting some nicer mics, getting some nicer lighting, whatever, and backgrounds.
I was thinking about season 1, episode 1, where I woke up to no power in the house. And we have a very poor cell signal where we used to live. And so I had to get in the car, drive to a place where I could get a signal. Of course, it's January in Oregon at 7 o'clock in the morning, which means it's dark. So my stage lighting was the dome light. My camera, microphone were the ones built into the phone. And I used 2 rubber bands and held my phone on the mirror, so I wasn't driving, but I was just stationary, just so everyone knows. So yeah, we've come a long way.
Well, that was, that just shows perseverance, and on your part, you did whatever it took to be on that show, and yeah, that was quite a start. And we've come a long way. I'm telling you, it's just so much fun. We are so blessed with so many amazing guests. And I mean, what are some of your fondest memories, Scott?
Well, that first episode with Brian was so much fun. But I want to say one of the things that has been wonderful is all of the sponsors. Of course, we have Emily sponsoring this episode, Emily Harmon. A great person. We were able to meet with her live and have lunch with her in Portland. Was it last summer? It's been a while. And we've had a number of great sponsors throughout all of the episodes. But I want to give a big shout out to Laura Gillette and her home team. They have been there since before the beginning, very consistent. And a number of times, I think you actually have keys to their office because you've been there at 6:30 in the morning to get set up and broadcast the experience live with Russ and Scott live from the Gillette Home Team offices.
Yeah. Oh, it has been a blessing to be able to have sponsors that really care and also want to be involved,
Hmm.
and we do want to give huge thank you, Lord Gillette and the Gillette Home Team,
Hmm.
amazing people. And Emily, I'm telling you, she stepped in
Yeah.
and she has been such a great supporter as well. It doesn't matter whether you've been here from the beginning or you've been sponsors along the way. Stephen Hodges, great
Hmm.
sponsor of several episodes. We've had Joseph Gonzalez. We've had so many good
H&R
people, and
Block was a
H&R
big sponsor
Block.
in that first year. Yeah.
That's right. They
And
did an amazing
she
job.
retired and sold the business. So it was I believe that she was able to do that all because of her sponsorship and the
I pretty much
visibility
think
that,
so. Yeah,
that the
I
experience
think
brought.
pretty much so. Yeah, well, um, I think that what a blessing the show is, because
Hmm.
Scott, to me, every morning we get to get on, we get to talk with amazing people, but we also get to share so much value and help
Mm.
people. And this is one thing that everybody should know about the experience. And right now, this morning, no matter where you are, who you are watching, whether you're watching live or on replay, we just want to say 1,000 thanks. And we want you to please remember to share this out to people. Tag your friends right now. Tag some friends.
Hmm.
Let them know we're on. Let them know that every week we are here with great people to add value to their lives and information they really need, because we have so many. The experience of life is so broad, right, Scott? There's so many amazing things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, this is one of the things when people ask, "Well, what's your show about?" Because there's shows about live video. There's shows about how to do social marketing or different things that are out there, right? They're different topics, and that's great. But I just tell people we are your typical talk show. We talk about life and interesting stuff because we have the most remarkable people on the planet right here on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott every week. And we talk about great things. And then we get to learn about what they have to offer. So their coaching programs, the products that they have, the services. But mainly, we get to see into the lives of these remarkable people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, I am so thankful because I've made so many amazing connections through
Mhm.
all the people, Scott, that you and I have been blessed to have on the show. Right.
Yeah,
And
I just let me just say too that as I'm watching these comments go by, so I'm looking over. That's another one of the highlights is the
right.
connection and conversations that are going on. I'm just looking over here, BB Kong and a
You
LinkedIn
know,
user, Leanna
yeah,
Stockluoma. I mean, these
Leanna's
are
here.
just these comments, the connections. This is probably one of the most remarkable parts of the show.
Right. It is. And this is the thing that we learn. And again, it's a matter of getting the word out there. So if you're watching right now, tag your friends, let them know, because everybody gets busy, right? There's shows we have hundreds of people watching and shows when there's not as many, but Scott and I always persevere through and have such an amazing, great time with our guests. A lot of times it has
Mhm.
to do too with the audiences that people have. So that's one thing about live, Scott. Talk about that a little bit, because when you come to a live, you bring each person brings a community and audience, and then they can take that and they can build and they can share to that audience, right?
Mhm.
And there's so
Yeah.
many great things that come through live streaming.
And that's one of the things. I'll just say, BB Kong, not Kang. I think I mispronounced, so I apologize. But and this is the beautiful thing again about the live comments. We're able to interact and correct the mistakes. But the thing is that we're just a conduit. The show, Russ, Scott, it's the people that we bring on the show. We learn so many great things. We get so many great insights, and some of our shows have been very emotional because of the topics that we get into. And this is what's really important. It's the human aspect of the
Right.
show.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many past guests that, today Scott and I wanted to have kind of we've had some really big starts to seasons, right?
Hmm.
And today we just kind of wanted to share from our heart and
Yeah.
more of a low key start to season 6. We have some amazing guests coming on
Hmm.
that we'll tell you more about. But sometimes it's nice to just be able to speak from the heart and just to be able to uh, talk to you, the people that have really made this possible, the
Hmm.
community that is built on just Scott and I consistently showing up every week, right? You just keep showing up. And I love that. Brian Shulman and Nancy Barrows always say that, just keep showing up. And that's
Hmm.
so true. And we've had both of them on several times. In fact, Nancy and Brian will both be on again this season. And so we just appreciate people so much. And, Scott, what is one of the key things that you found from the time you and I started and you first said to me, "Hey, I think you and I should do a live stream show." And I remember that moment when and I'm like, "Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, but let's do it." Um,
Hmm.
what is one of the biggest things that you've seen as we've grown through the years?
Yeah, so the consistency is important, and evolution is important. So I just look at the graphics that we had from the early show. Very simple, and they worked great. Ever has been a wonderful
Oh my goodness.
partner
That's
in all of this, and she likes to be in the back end, and that's great. We have a wonderful partnership, and so as you go, make those little changes, make those opportunities to bring in additional team members, and leverage their skills. Which this is what's great is when you bring in someone like an Ever, and you say, oh, we need this, and then it comes back and it's so much better than you would have ever imagined, because
right.
you just gave a little bit of direction and let that partner do what they do best.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it right there. And see, it really takes a community working together. And this is
Hmm.
one thing that we are definitely better together. And, I mean, I can't even begin to say enough about Ever. And she right now is telling me, stop, stop, don't say anything. But she has just been an amazing help. We could not do our shows without her. And um, so, it's coming together using each other's talents, abilities, and growing together. So you and I, Scott, have grown so much through the
Hmm.
years on this show. And I know that, so I went through, so usually everybody, I'm in the background producing the show. And, Scott and I both do this all the time, producing shows. But when we started, I had no idea. So I'm just talking about myself at the moment. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just told Scott, yeah, we could do that. Let's give it a shot. And we just launched forward, but with good help from people like our friends, Alan
Hmm.
Hennessy
Yep.
and Jim Fuse,
Right.
Tim Sohn, who all just jumped right in and helped us, who are already
Hmm.
way ahead of the curve on live streaming for us. And so we were able to really jump right in. And,
Yeah,
we
and,
worked with
and Melissa Maloney, who did voiceover
yeah,
work for us.
does the voiceover on things for us. Exactly. We've had so many friends from all over the world, like our good friend Jason Cooper across the
Hmm.
pond, who was also live streaming right from the beginning with us,
Hmm.
been able to be on each other's shows. And, it's a blessing every time we get the opportunity. So we don't want to look lightly upon this. Again, here are things. Let me just reach out to those of you that are watching this morning. First off, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to find out where you're viewing from today. Also, don't forget, this always stays on the platform so you can share it and you can
Hmm.
tag people and you can watch it over and over and over after we're done even. And it's not too late, by the way, to keep sharing it and tagging people
Hmm.
even after the show's over, because we love to see hashtag team replay on there. People that didn't have time to make it live but had just really were blessing us by coming in and watching after we were done. It just stays
Mhm.
on there. But the thing is, right now, what's going on in the comments is
Right.
people talking to us and also talking to each other. I had an amazing talk with Christine yesterday. She and I
Mhm.
have become good friends. And Scott, I
She's
know you and
wonderful.
Christy know her, but she is just an amazing person. And it's because
Mhm.
of shows like this that we have developed those friendships and been able to move forward, right, Scott?
It's the partnerships that have happened out of this too. People
Right,
doing business together, supporting each other, encouraging each other, and this is part of what we love about the experience. Is we get to bring people together. I'm watching the comments, and people are greeting each other and happy to see each other. We all come into the same room,
right.
and that is so much fun. The other thing that I've really enjoyed is watching the growth in these folks over these last 3 years. Here we are coming into season 6. Here's episode 1 of season 6. But I think back to the folks that we've met and the shows that they've launched, like Inger Van Roy, who starts off her video saying, "I hate video," and now she's got a number of shows that she's been doing. She's been guests on so many shows. She's now on a radio program in South Africa and having guests there. This is the growth that we've seen is just remarkable.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it has been that's the thing. That's the biggest blessing for me is the growth not only in ourselves, but
Hmm.
watching our friends grow. And Scott,
Yeah,
you and I have been able to bless so many people as well because you and I have been so blessed along the way. We've been able to reach out and bless other people. And this community continues to just be, I mean, I just can't even begin to tell you how many wonderful friendships and connections I have and you and I have, Scott, from
that's
this
right.
whole process. And this is something that really people need to know. I am a
Hmm.
firm believer that connection and community building is a foundation for any good business, any good marketing plan, definitely any good life, I think. And so how do you work within that? Well, you just do what Christine's doing. You start engaging and you just start talking to us, to other people. Then you get personal. You get on Zoom calls. We could do virtual coffee. We could do
Hmm.
virtual lunch, whatever. Or you could go out and actually see people live. That's another thing that's been great. So over
Hmm.
the years, so many people, like you mentioned, Scott, we got to go see up and see Emily. You and I
Hmm.
both got to go visit with Cami Hoyza in
Hmm.
Portland when she flew in. Bruce Conahan's come through Salem, and we've had coffee. David Alto, appreciate him. He's come through. And so there's been so many great people. Scott, what are some
Absolutely.
of your other thoughts on that, seeing people live?
It was fun when I went down to. It was just a year ago, September a year ago, and I went down to Phoenix, and Holly Jean Jackson, Matt Rouse, Russ Johns, Mary Fane Brandt. These were all folks that I was able to see in 3D, as my wife says, because of that. And in fact, my wife and I are planning on going down to Phoenix again and meeting up with Bruce and Mary Fane Brandt and anyone else that's down there for their LinkedIn Live events. So you got to take advantage when you travel around. Let people know. I was able to meet up with a couple of friends, Jim Fuse and Manuja, down in Atlanta when I flew in there, and it's just remarkable and so much fun to be able to connect to people live and those connections that you have. I'll tell you, they're not handshakes; those are hugs.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. I am so one event that's coming up that I get to be part of that I'm super excited about is the Perspectives on Cancer, showing up Perspectives on Cancer with Tim Sohn, his group. And there's going to be so many amazing people there that either I have hardly ever seen or I haven't
Mhm.
seen. So I'm excited, obviously, to see Tim. And Tim and I have never seen each other in 3D. So there you go. I mean, this will be the first time for that. And so I love what Christy says, 3D peopling. There you go. There you go. And, I'll be able to see her. And I'm trying to think of all the amazing people that are going to be. Emily's going to be there. Emily Harmon. There's going to be, so a really good new friend, James. And I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to say it at the moment, but he is an amazing new friend. And we're going to be sharing an Airbnb together. He's picking me up from the airport. That's going to be amazing. And we're also meeting with other friends. We're going to be picking up another person on the way. So you start building and growing and learning from each other and being able to share life's experience. And that's what this is all about, right, Scott?
Absolutely. The experience of life, as you often say. And that's what it's all about. Is, again, we're having remarkable people in here. We have these very deep conversations. Sometimes they're very emotional. Sometimes they're very informational. We have just some great technical advice from folks, and things that are coming out. Like I mentioned, Matt Rouse, and he put his book out, Puretainment: The Golden Age of Social Media is Dead. He's got a new book coming out about AI. And I think people you need to be in touch with these different topics. So come to the experience, connect with the guests that we have. And next week, we're going to start off again with episode 2 with some just fun people to hang out with.
Well, we do have some really fun people to hang out with. And let's talk about that for a moment, because not only do we have fun people to hang out with, but we've got some pretty nice highlights. Scott, do you want to give a couple of those?
Of the people that are coming up on season 6 as we get going here?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so we got next week. I mentioned Russ Johns, and he's going to be on with Monica Bozanov. You'll definitely want to tune in for that. We are going to have Andrew Weiss and his wife, Celicia Thomas. She is right now the lead actor in a Broadway show. She is Cinderella. And so you'll want to tune in for that. So many great folks. You mentioned Bonnie Miletto and Bobby G coming up. That's going to be on October 18th. So just some highlights right there. So definitely what you want to do is make sure that you're following Russ and following myself on LinkedIn, but subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Experience YouTube channel, and get the little notifications so that when these shows go live, you'll get reminded. And of course, we would love to have you live and commenting like so many of the people here are doing. But the replay is great as well. We do keep the show. We try to keep the show right around 30 minutes. It usually goes a touch longer, but you're going to be able to get some just amazing information from the most fabulous people.
Yeah, it's true. And, as I am tagging more people and saying hi to them this morning, it is super great, the people that we have on every week. And I'm super excited about the 9/11. We talked about this on the Experience Backstage. I have a 9/11 show on Marketing with Russ because it's on 9/11. And just a moment here. Water to keep talking. Anyway, we have people going, yeah, you talk enough. Anyway, the 9/11 show is going to be great. It's going to be with Bonnie Miletto and Bobby G. And Bobby is a real 9/11 hero. He was there on Ground Zero from the time he was pulling up on the scene to help people when the second tower was coming down. And so he went right in, he crawled under, he did all these amazing things. He's met with the president, they've accommodated him, the senators, the mayor, everybody, because of his work. But he also had a chance to guest on The Sopranos and on LA Law and do some TV as well. Not that is the big deal, but the 9/11 perspective that he's going to give. And he's going to take that from 9/11 Marketing with Russ, bringing it here to the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. He and Bonnie will be on. And we're super excited to have them on because it is going to be an amazing time with those people. I want to take a quick break here and remind everybody that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and be part of the YouTube community by going to the experience.video. The experience.video is the place to go. Please subscribe if you have not already. We're trying to build that YouTube page, but what is beautiful for you is it also gives you all the wonderful past content of people that have been on this show. And you don't want to miss the people that you missed, I'm telling you, because you might have missed them when they were live, but you have not missed them for good because they're on our YouTube channel. Also, just want to remind you all, every week you can get out there and actually share the show and right off the bat and tag your friends, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on video. I want to remind you that's so important because what it does, it helps us share great content. We get to share yours, you get to share ours. We work together. And I encourage people to be doing that with their friends and their connections all the time. Be sharing content, be tagging your friends that you know that will really tie into the topic. And I think those things are so important. So I don't know, Scott, I just get so excited because the opportunities that we have are just amazing.
You know, it's almost 130 episodes on the YouTube channel. So again, cancel Netflix, save some money. Subscribe. You sit down in the evening, you want to get inspired, watch some episodes of The Experience. And it's not because of Russ and Scott. It's because of those guests. And I just put in there, I'm going to put my shameless plug out there. Christine Smith's new book, The Pre-Actor Age Prompted Journal, released last night on Amazon. And it's only a physical book, only a paperback. So it is there and available for you. And she has set special pricing for that. So you definitely want to get involved and buy that book as soon as you can.
Yeah, no kidding. So tell us a little bit more. Just give us a little bit more about Christine's show and then how that led to all she's
at 9 a.m. And it's the aspects of aging. So in her book, she wrote about 52 aspects of aging and gave examples and helps about that. So on her show, she brings in experts in the aging world and the care community, and they have unscripted conversations on these aspects. And it is so much fun. It's a very casual show. It's as if you were just maybe sitting at a park bench and some folks were having a conversation and you're listening in. It very low key, very relaxed, lots of great comments from folks that watch, and her guests every week. She has many guests, sometimes up to 5 different guests with her during that show. It's about an hour, and you'll learn so many things and get such great insights and inspiration.
Yeah. Well, I think she does a great job. I love all that Christine does. And, this is something that has grown out of what Scott has been able to do. And that is, he's able to produce her show because we have been able to get out there and help other people. By the way, if you need somebody to help produce your show, Scott and I both would love to help you out. And you can reach out to us. We're glad to be encouraging to you. And I always tell people, hey, if you just want to have a chat with me, I'm happy to do that and get you started in the right direction. And then we can go from there. If you need somebody to actually produce the show and do things, that's great. But Scott and I have been able to come together. We're here every Wednesday. Did I tell you that? It's 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. And we are also here on the Experience Backstage on Instagram only every Wednesday at 6:30 a.m. with our friend Shree, who also came out of networking and live streaming connections, right, Scott?
Absolutely. And video is a beautiful tool because you can convey emotion that you can't do in the written form. You can't even do in an audio podcast. You want to have that. And Russ, I'm going to be the responsible host today.
You are? Good. I'm glad somebody is.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to wrap up episode 1, season 6 of the experience. We do have some fabulous guests. We mentioned a few of those coming up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the little bell so you get notifications, uh, and you'll be able to tune in. And if you are interested in being a guest on the show, we are pretty full into the fall, but contact myself or Russ, and let's have a conversation. And we would love to have you on the show because, again, we only choose the most remarkable people on the planet right here for the experience live with Russ and Scott.
And Scott, while you're talking about that, give everybody a little insight on opportunities, not only to be part of the show, because when we connect with you and you're an amazing person, we want people to hear your experience of life. And we love to talk about getting people on the show, but also talk to people about the sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, because we have such a great audience, so many great comments, a lot of engagement, video views on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, it is a great place to sponsor and to let people know, like the Laura Gillot team. And in fact, I'm a customer of Laura and her team. Did a fabulous job for Christine and I. Such great folks to work with. Emily Harmon this month or this week is a sponsor for the experience. Great opportunity. Get your business out there. Let people know. As they say, if you have a business and you don't advertise, it's like flirting in the dark. Only you know what's going on.
I love that. I love that. You've heard, Scott, you have such good analogies. So, yeah, I just want to tell everybody that we would love to talk to you about that, because let me tell you, the value that you get for being part of this show is enormous. You're getting 3 to 4 times the value of what you're spending to help us stay on the air and to be able to broadcast these amazing people. Because, no matter what we do in life, there's a cost involved, right? And so we're not here for a big sales pitch, but we're just going to tell you, we want to support you because we know that you have a cost involved in all that you're doing. We want to support you, help you build your business and grow. But we also need to do that here. And that's why we have been able to have longevity. That's why we've been able to be consistent, because of amazing people. And I got to say, quick shout out to Willie J, who just popped on. So Willie J was one of the authors with me on sorry, Scott, I'm going over the
Rattle the Wake. That's fabulous. Yeah. International bestseller, by the way.
That's right. International bestseller. And Willie is an amazing man who loves God, who is doing amazing things in music and business. And man, if you're not connected with Willie, you need to be. And he and I had an amazing conversation yesterday. I was able to connect he and my son, which, by the way, everybody, just a reminder, Connor, my son, who is a professional Grammy-nominated, Dove-nominated artist, has also done all the music for our shows. He is available. If you do live streaming and you do something and you need music, he's available. He writes and produces and masters amazing music and amazing artists. So anyway, but Willie and he have connected them up because they have a lot in common. And I'm just so thankful for people like that. The opportunities, again, the reason I met Willie was because live streaming and then helping Dr. Nupi Aurora, and I produced her show. And then she had Lonnie Ray on, and then Lonnie Ray invited me to be part of the book, Rattle the Wake. And then I met Willie. Look at all the amazing opportunities that God opens up. That's what's so exciting, right? So exciting about everything. So, all right, Scott.
And Dr. Nupi Aurora is also a sponsor. So she sponsors the experience backstage. And what a great person she is. The glitter practitioner. Her show Russ produces every Monday, noon Pacific time. So that's another great one to tune into.
Yes, definitely great. And, the thing is, I want to remind everybody, not only, and there's Leanna. She is also one of the artists on, and I forgot that she was on from the beginning. Hey, Leanna, sorry about that. She was another one of the amazing co-authors on Rattled Awake. By the way,
Mhm.
everybody, that's available on Amazon. The paperback is coming out soon. Right now, it's available on ebook. And also, just want to remind you, all of Scott's amazing books are out there and are available. Also, my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, the workbook, and Rattled Awake, all available on my site as well as on Amazon. And so we have a lot of content out there for you. And
Mhm.
Scott, I'm just getting excited. I'm having a tough time wrapping the show up because now
Yeah,
there's so many people.
it's gonna be a great season, Russ. I'm really excited. We looking ahead at the guest lists that are coming up. eh, I'm not gonna miss them. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, it is. We just want to say hashtag 1000 thanks to all of you. By the way, that came about because of this show. We had a guest on who kind of had the idea, and then Scott kind of took it from there, and we came up with the hashtag 1000 thanks to
1,000
remind
thanks.
people to
Mhm.
be thankful and to remind people to thank others, right? Thank them for the amazing things that they're doing. And Scott, I know that we've really tried to continue to push that. That came around, it was run right before Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
what, 3 years ago now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
so
pretty,
it's and don't wait for Thanksgiving to give thanks.
yeah. There you go. And with that, I'm going to now be responsible and tell everybody we just appreciate y'all being here. Remember, we're
Mhm.
here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And before this, we're here on the Experience Backstage on Instagram only, where Willie likes to hang out. And we are there every Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Also, look forward to Scott's other shows and Christine's shows as well, and Marketing with Russ every Monday and Thursday, as well as Russ Reels Live Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. We love to just be able to be with you, but don't forget to join us every Wednesday. We're here for you. And we just want to top this off by saying, can't end the show without Kermie there.
There
So,
we go. Yeah.
all right, everybody, until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.